Here we are. Hi, this is Mesha with Every Life is a Story, and I am so excited today. I'm down a guest from what I thought I would have. Stella wasn't able to join us, but Robin John Mountain is here, and I am so excited. Um, I'm just going to turn him loose and let him tell you all about himself because, after all, it is his story. But I just want to say that I'm just honored that he would take the time to do this. And the reason I do this is I really feel like we spend our time saying people don't understand us, or people aren't listening to me, or whatever. Well, and we're only talking to people that we always talk to. So I want us to share our stories with people that we don't normally talk to. So for you people who maybe have not been talking to someone who owns a tour company in Africa, here's your chance to hear the story about how someone fell in love with the idea of having a tour company in Africa, somehow came to be in Frankfort, Kentucky, and now has coffee coming out of a Pizza Hut. And I mean, it's just, the story is just amazing. But I will say this. It turned out that Robin and I got to know each other online, and the person that I was working with Fibro Life, my left-handed right hand, Kathy Keeney, she and I were talking, and I'm like, I just love Robin John Mountain. He and I talk all the time. And she's like, oh, yeah, I know him. And well, everybody knows him. He'll talk with everybody. And she goes, no, seriously, I know him. And you and Kathy had worked together.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it ended up that I actually got to meet you, so I really do know you. So welcome to Every Life is a Story, and it's so good to see you.
Thank you, Moshe, and it's lovely to know your story as well. And it was a privilege meeting you, and Kathy, thank you so much for the introduction. And life is a story. We look at a tombstone and we see the date a person was born, the date the person died, and that dash in between. That is called life, L-I-F-E. And if you are not living life to the full, you don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to be a pro football star. You can be, you must be who you are. And my story starts way back in South Africa. I'm a fifth generation South African. I'm privileged to have grown up in a loving, caring home with a father who had a soul of steel. And and iron sharpens iron, and he sharpened me in many of my business practices in life. Unfortunately, my father's not with us anymore. My mom's still alive, and I have the privilege, and maybe she might even do it during this conversation. She calls me on Skype from time to time, and still has wonderful chats with me. As I said, I was born in South Africa. Because I'm a white South African, I was drafted into the military. Back in the apartheid era, we had to do 2 years military service or 5 years in jail. Now, I don't know what your mathematics formula is, but 5 years was about 4 years and 11 months too long in jail for me. I did my military service, and this really helped shape me as a man. It really did. It learned me. It taught me. It didn't learn me anything. It taught me to command respect and not demand respect. Too many of us in life demand respect. Because I'm your boss, you must. Because I'm you must. No. When in life you need to command respect, and even the man begging on the side of the street can still stand up straight and command respect. The way he or she will speak to you, and that is my ethos in life, is commanding and not demanding. And I look at you with what you've been through. You've never demanded respect because of the journey you've been through, but you've commanded respect, and I appreciate that about you.
Thank you.
Anyway, in 1999, I had the privilege to immigrate to the USA. I married a beautiful woman by the name of Stella, and we have 3 amazing children with stories as wild and woolly as mine.
I know, and I wish we had time to tell some of them because they are fantastic.
And I'd like you to meet my eldest son, James, at some stage, and I know you would love an interview with him as well.
Yes, I want to.
But anyway, what really makes people smile from ear to ear is when I tell them what brought me to America in 1999. I specialize in artificial insemination of honey queen bees.
I know. Yes, bees.
I know this blows people's minds when they hear artificial insemination. And I love to often have a little pause, and then I look them straight in the eye and say, of honey queen bees. But anyway, this is what brought me. I specialize in the artificial insemination, but also raising queen bees. And I ran a very large queen bee breeding operation in California. Had a great time working with them. And then I was offered a teaching position in Kentucky at Kentucky State University. Yes. And I loved what I did, and I did what I loved. And it's just, I had the privilege of teaching at the University of the Virgin Islands in Charlotte, Somalia. And I saw more of America than a well-traveled American. I had a wonderful time.
Yes.
But 2005, a bug bit me. I had the privilege of taking a group of beekeepers to South Africa. That was the first taste of a travel company that I really experienced. And I did what's known as a COD, call on dad. And I called on my dad. I said, Dad, I need a bus. I need a tour guide. What do I do? How do I get this going? And anyway, great organizer himself. And he organized me a bus. And we had a wonderful time. My two youngest children joined me, Catherine and Philip. And we had a wonderful time. We had just got our green cards. And we came back. And this little bug was eating me, man. It was great. We went to the Kruger Park. We did safaris. We went down to Cape Town. Anyway, the next group that we led, my wife led. In fact, I was meant to lead it, but I was involved in a research project that I had to finish. And so still led a group of bird watchers who had a wonderful time as well. I mean, they really did. John Robinson, a very good friend of mine from Tennessee, actually.
Right.
And now lives in California. John joined us on that trip. And so we make the joke, we put the birds and the bees together. And we started our company. And the word Ntaba, the word Ntaba, which is my company's name, Ntaba African Safaris. Ntaba is my last name in Zulu. As I mentioned, we're fifth generations, and we speak 6 languages, and of which one of them is Zulu. And people often ask me what I dream in. I said, my God, if I could remember, I would be grateful. But so we've used our ethnic background together with our love and our passion for Africa. And one of the things or 5 of the words that really just solidify who we are and what we do in our company is it's very authentic. The memories, it's very memorable, it's incredibly intimate, it's very secure, and it's totally unique. And this is, when we started off, how do you start a travel company? And I'd already resigned from the university. Stella was still working there for a while. But I mean, we started this with nothing. We didn't get Grandpa giving us a loan, or we didn't have anybody helping us. We've got no family in America. Our Thanksgiving tables are very small. Christmas is going to be very small. But we just had that determination. And a lot of people will say to me, how did you start your travel company? And I don't mean to be weird and wonderful, but I just look at you and say, would you like to go to Africa with me?
I know that is what you do too. That is exactly what you do. But I've sat at a table with you, and if somebody is sitting with you and talking to you, and you ask them a question like that, they know they're safe. They just know it. I mean, you can just tell. You're one of those people that it just emanates from you. The sincerity and your passion for it just emanates from you. It just does. You're honest and authentic. When you use the word authentic, your company is authentic because you're so authentic.
I really do appreciate that. And that is what comes out. A lot of people will say to me now, you have the slogan, we don't send you to Africa, we take you.
You do.
But I put the word we in there because we've grown too big, okay? I have wonderful guides in South Africa, guides that are better qualified than me in certain areas. Wayne Madams, a wonderful man, a second generation Cape Townian. Super guy, has led many of our groups in Cape Town. Des Blackhurst, I make a joke, Des knew my wife before I did. So there's a little bit of joking that goes on there. But that is the quality of person. And we know when you go to Africa with us, that is it's that authentic, memorable, unique, intimate, and secure experience that you're going to have. And as I say, we've grown. And I was reading something this morning about somebody started their own business, and it didn't go well the first month, so they closed it. It was like the first what, the first, I mean, there have been times when I've opened that fridge, that fridge when my kids were all at college, and there was no food in it. I mean, it was hard. It was tough. I mean, when I walked into the bank manager would run into his office and lock his door.
Now that's a story.
It was try and get a loan. When I'd like a loan because I want to take people to Africa and safari, the guy looks at me like, yeah, and my mother smoked marijuana. I mean, it was just. But anyway, it's gone, and we've grown, and I've had the privilege of climbing Mount Kilimanjaro 3 times.
I know.
I say it's a privilege. I mean, second year of our marriage, I landed up in a wheelchair. I fell 2 stories off a building. Told I'd never be able to walk again. Yeah, second, I mean, I've been married for 150, no, I've been married for 35 years now. So second year, I fall 2 stories off a building, smashed my head, break my spine, blah, 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 blah. I've been told I'd never be able to have children, and I'd never be able to walk again. And, don't ever believe a doctor. All due respect to you, PhDs, but never believe a doctor. Believe what's inside here. Okay, look at you. You're one of the best examples. Don't believe the doctors. Believe what's inside you, okay? And everybody listening to this as well. If you're overweight, you're underweight, you've got too much pigmentation in your skin, you don't have enough pigmentation in your skin, you are whatever gender you are or you aren't, you are the most important person to you in your life. And you've got to take care of yourself. Your journey does not depend on people around you. Your journey depends on that person inside you.
That's anyway, right. That's our story is ours to write.
Exactly.
Our journey is ours to decide. And go ahead.
And I don't boast about, oh, by the way, I've climbed Kilimanjaro. No, I'm privileged. I'm privileged to do it because I know what it feels like to get out of a wheelchair and walk again. I mean, I had a stroke. I had a TIA. I couldn't speak. Okay, my wife was very happy. I lost the ability to what they call my cognitive speech.
Sure.
I had a TIA. You call it a stroke, whatever you want.
Right,
I couldn't count and I couldn't say the alphabet.
Right.
And I mean that's really great. When you're leading. In fact, and I still led groups because it didn't made me. I didn't lose my marbles, but it's just a little bit awkward. I grew up with an incredibly bad stutter. I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out of high school. So all you guys who dropped out of high school and running yourself down, get over it, okay? I dropped out of high school. I got as far as the 10th grade at school, and school and I had an official divorce, okay? It didn't work, okay? There was no litigation. It was just bang. I landed up in the military. I got my GED while I was in the military. I landed up later in life doing correspondence and getting my degrees then. But don't allow the trip or the slip that you've had in life to be your epitaph. I mean, today and tomorrow are still going to be the best days of your life. You have not had the best day of your life yet. Get over it. Today is the best day of your life, and tomorrow is going to be even better. And it's easy for me to sit and talk like that because we are doing reasonably well at the moment. Well, I've got a little bit of a challenge right now. Within the next month, I'm going to sell my home, buy my home, and open a coffee shop. So anybody wants to give me some help, I would love it. We're actually taking over a Pizza Hut in Louisville, Kentucky. We're taking over Pizza Hut now, and my mom called me on Skype the other day, terribly worried. She said to me, Robin, what on earth do you know about making pizza? I said, no, Mom, I'm taking over the Pizza Hut, and we're converting it into our Intaba offices. And I have a wonderful young man working for me. His name is William. William is going to start our Intaba Coffee House. And it's spelled Intaba and then Haus, the German house. So we're using our African name, our European word for coffee, and the German word for house or place of meeting. And
wow, in America.
in America. So for those of you who are wondering, yes, I am a true African American. I became an American 5 years ago. I wrote the exams, I paid all the money, and I now have the privilege of having a blue passport. So yes, I am an
Um,
African American.
well, I have a very good friend who lives in Louisville, and I'm going to hook you up with her. And she's not a coffee drinker, but she likes coffee-like drinks. So I'm going to hook her up with you. And
I, yeah, I tell you what's really awesome as well. We are specializing in coffee only from Africa because that's where coffee originates from. Coffee actually originated from the Great Rift Valley. It was the Arab shepherds who saw their goats eating these sheep and going boing, 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 boing. And there are all sorts of espionage stories about how coffee was smuggled into Europe and so on. But it's not only coffee that we do. We're also doing a tea. And this is an amazing. I'm doing a black tea from Kenya and Tanzania and Uganda. But I'm also doing what we call rooibos, R-O-O-I, bos, B-O-S-T. The word rooibos means red bush. And what is wonderful about this tea is it's naturally caffeine free. It's never been decaffeinated. And it's very high in antioxidants. We actually what we did as parents, and was done to me as well. We would be given a bottle of this rooibos tea with just a little touch of honey at night, and often no milk in it, and put to sleep with that. So it's a very calming, soothing tea. And we now have it with three different flavors. We have a chai, a blood orange, and a hibiscus. And
wow.
yeah, not everybody's a coffee drinker. Don't give me coffee after 4 o'clock at night because I will not sleep, okay? I will drive truck through the night. But having rooibos tea, that hibiscus is so soothing on your stomach. In fact, nowadays, I don't, even when I travel back and forth to Africa, I still take my own rooibos. So, this is going to be really great. In Louisville on Brownsboro Road, the old Pizza Hut is going, to be now in Taba Coffee House, and we will also have the Taba African Safaris offices in there as well. And as I say, it's a privilege. I know the farmers who grow that rooibos. I know where it comes from. I've met some of the coffee growers in Ethiopia, in Tanzania, in Uganda, in Rwanda. As I said, climbing Kilimanjaro, you actually walk through coffee plantations. When we visit the gorillas in Uganda and Rwanda, you walk through coffee plantations to get there. And as I say, this coffee seed has been planted in me, and it's an absolute privilege I have. And I tear up when I think of it. It's a privilege that I have to show Africa in America like I do, to put a positive light onto Africa.
I know. There's so much in there I want to get back to.
Go for it.
First of all, Martha loves tea, so we're good there. Martha's going to be there. I know she will. And I've also told Martha that we have to go to Africa with you, and I've told her all about you. So she knows about you already. So now you're going to be in Louisville. So this is great.
Hi, Martha.
So I know when I first started following you online, it was from all the photography because another friend knew you, and she actually got me interested in you because her son also knew you. So like 4 people I knew you, and it was just so odd that we came together. It was just, well, it wasn't odd. I believe that some energies are just meant to be connected, whether you call it a God thing. I call it a God thing. Some people don't. Whatever people want to call it, some energies are just meant to come together. And I have no doubt that ours was meant to pass. There's no doubt about it. And I just have been so blessed that happened. And it's been a privilege, absolutely. And your photography and what you can see on your website and the videos that are there and the excuse me, I've had what we call in Mississippi here the crud. So I'm coughing a lot. I've watched the elephants, and I know that the wildlife there. There's so many things. I know now you're deep in the coffee and the tea, and you're trying to, you've got so much going on with this business, and I know the tour business is big, but I know that your love for the animals and and your photography and all of that. Your life is so huge. You have so many chapters in your life. Your story is so multifaceted, and you're such a family man, and your children and your wife. You're just so. How do you see? Because I mean, you're educated, didn't finish school, but got yourself educated, made it to America. You speak 6 languages and dream in some combination thereof, and now you've brought all these things. It's all culminated together. So when you look at all these chapters of your life and you look at the story of who you are, I mean, wow, it's really complex, and yet you don't seem like this frenzied person. Some people, when they have that kind of complexities, that kind of complex story, all those different things, they seem really frenzied. But you are like the most centered, calm. I mean, my gosh, the things you just mentioned that you have going on. And I've seen you when you've had like lots of stuff going on. The day that Kathy and I were with you all and we had lunch, you all had like a gazillion things going on that day. And yet still you were just calm. So what is it about you? What is the story there? How is it that you are so calm?
I tell you the calmness in my life comes from my wife. Honestly, Stella is the most amazing, amazing woman. I could not imagine my life without her. And don't get me in tears here, but she is the most amazing woman in my life. When I was in the wheelchair, I mean, the way she looked after me, the way she cared for me, the way, she's not a qualified nurse, that love and that care. And I don't care if you are divorced, have been divorced, going through a divorce. Find that person. If it's the same gender person, find that person who loves you, who cares for you. That person who commands respect in your life. Stella never demands respect. She commands it. And this is and we have become a tremendous team together. I mean, my personal assistant in St. Louis, Tina Kleekamp, what an amazing woman. She joined us as a client on a safari. She came back. She mentioned that she'd been a travel agent, and she wanted to work for Intaba. She then joined me to Africa to do the Gorillas, the Migration, and Zanzibar. She joined me the beginning of this year to do more South Africa, and it's that team that you build around yourself. I appreciate what you're saying about me now. Thank you very much. But I am not who I am because of who I am. I am who I am because of those people who I can count on. Those people who I can turn around and say, William, Johanni, Tina, Jamie, can you help me, please? Mom, can you help me? And that's a great attribute that I believe I have in life is to ask for help. When you are too high and mighty that you can't say, Moshe, can you help me, please? When you cannot ask for help, that's when you're going to need it.
So, Robin, I believe actually your story is you are who you are because you realize that no one person can be successful without other people and without treating other people the right way.
We use a word in Zulu called ubuntu, U-B-U-N-T-U. Look it up, guys, research it. The word ubuntu basically means I am who I am because of who you are. And it's a very complex Zulu word, but it's I care for you because you care for me. And that's what we've lost in life. We have a demanding attitude. We have an entitlement attitude. You look at employing a person nowadays. You come in, well, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. You will give me this. No. When I work for you, this is what I can offer you. I can offer you this, this, and that. That's what I can offer. Later on, we'll discuss salary. But we need to learn Moshe, what can I offer you to make your life better? Whoever's looking at this, what can I do? Well, I'm not. Please, you don't have to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist. Those guys have got it wrong anyway. You've got to have a loving, caring. It's that arm on the shoulder. It's that hug. It's that kiss. It's that look in the eyes. How are you doing? That we've lost that ability. I love it in Africa. You'll see men walking down the street holding hands. doesn't mean that they're playing for the other team. Those guys really love and care and are concerned about each other. I've had so many people just turn to tears when they travel with me, when they see how I'm greeted when I'm in Africa. It's hugs, it's kisses. I have big black men hugging me and kissing me on my cheek and saying, Robin, I love you. And this is an ability that and the gift that we've lost in America. We need to continue to just express that love that we have in our hearts for each other.
Right. We have somebody commenting and I can't get my comments to go back. Hello, Robert. I see you there. I just can't make my comments work. That is just amazing that because we don't have that in this country. And coming here, I know that you know that. And maybe we do in some parts. I don't know. I just in the parts I grew up in, you don't see burly men go up and do that with one another. You just don't see that. But I do see that you are that kind of person. Having been around you, I know that you are that kind of person. You're that warm and that genuine. And I do believe that Stella is that calming force in your life. There's no doubt about it. And I know earlier when you said that she was glad that you couldn't talk anymore. I know you were joking. That's why I laughed. I didn't laugh because you'd had a TIA. I laughed because I know that she really wasn't glad that you couldn't talk. She was glad for, a little bit maybe, but, not really glad you couldn't talk.
Just a beautiful experience I had in life. Yes, I love the animals. Yes, I love the mountains, the seas, but it's the people. People make a country. Take the people out of America and it would probably be a better place, but the people make a country.
Now, Robin.
I had the beautiful privilege the other day of being at the Victoria Falls, and there was a lovely school, these beautiful little school kids there. And again, I don't use color, girl, because when you're lying in that grave in the ground, it doesn't say White Robin Mountain, Black Robert. It just says my name, and you've got to believe in who I was and not who you wanted me to be.
Right.
And there were these little kids walking along there, and one of the girls, and some of these kids come from rural areas, and one of them, her shoelaces were undone. And I just thought, that could be my granddaughter, man. And I bent down and I did up her little shoelace. And the cutest thing, she's got her hand in my back while I'm doing her shoelace. And in America, you would be handed up for child harassment with that or whatever,
Oh, right. Right.
Anyway, so she puts her other little foot forward, and I do up her shoe, and then she sort of rubs the top of my bald spot, and but she's just about this big. And next, there are three little girls standing behind there with their shoelaces undone. And just in the midst of the mighty Mushiyamatoya, the Victoria Falls, I had the privilege of touching 4 little lives, and those little lives touched me. And this is what we need to do in life. We need to look, and I thank you for bringing me here. We need to look for lives to touch, and we need and we see them every single day. Look at the person in the checkout line. Look them in the eye and say, "Good morning. How are you?"
Yes. Yes.
We need to care for everybody around us. Every single person is put into our life for a reason.
I absolutely believe that. I speak to everyone. I never meet a stranger.
Me too. I even speak to the lamppost. Sometimes they've answered me.
Oh, I talk to everyone too. I absolutely do. I know that you and we talked at one time, and I'm still going to do it. I'm talking with the International Support Fibro Group, and I'm still determined to bring a group of fibro people to Africa. We are going to make that happen. And you so understood the needs of people with invisible health issues and their needs as travelers. And you and your wife were both just so anxious to more than meet the needs, but to anticipate the needs. And I didn't even realize that a tour company would go to such extremes, but I didn't even have to ask. I mean, you came up with things that I have the illness, and you came up with things that I hadn't thought of. And that just shows your capacity to think so beyond what it's not about. It's not about a business with you. You are a people person, but you're also you're just you're a humble person, and you truly are about, as you said, you don't demand, you want to command respect and command loyalty and admiration from others, not demand. And that is how you have lived your life. And I think that will be your story. You mentioned earlier when you started the broadcast, you said that our story is, at the graveyard, there's the tombstone, and there's the number in the beginning, and then there's the number with an end, and there's the dash and the time in between. That is our story. And I believe your story is going to be the respect that you commanded, and then all those lives that you touched. I really believe, because I see all the people talking online about all the people that you have taken to Africa. And you really do that. And I know you are going to take a group of us with fibromyalgia. You are going to take us to Africa, and we are going to have a great time. We're kind of at our cutoff mark, but I want you to wrap up, not me, because I want you to tell us what is it you see, that what is your message that you would like to give to someone who is maybe struggling today, and maybe because you mentioned how hard it can be. You started, as you said, you didn't start with, granddad didn't give you the money or whatever, and you didn't finish school. You went into the military and so you've had hard times. So someone today who's not really believing me when I say write your own story, you can do it. And I'm always encouraging people, you do it every day. You and Stella both. Every day you pick yourselves up by the bootstraps and you keep writing your own story. So what would you say to encourage someone that, yes, you can do what Robin John Mountain and Stella have done, and you can take a South African name and a German name, and take African coffee and a Pizza Hut in Louisville, Kentucky, and sell coffee and tea and have a tour company and all those other things that you do.
Love or hate Winston Churchill. All I can say is never, never, never give up. Never. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robin. And tell Stella hello. And we're going to get together again soon. I'm going to be in Kentucky soon, and we're going to hook up soon. I'm going to come to the Pizza Hut. I'm going to drink coffee and tea with you, and we're going to catch up, and we are going to come to Africa with you.
And it would be my absolute privilege to take you, not because you have fibromyalgia, but because you are you. Okay?
I know that.
I look beyond. I mean, if I could grow up with a father who had his leg amputated at the age of 14, I looked at my dad. I didn't look at what my dad didn't have. I looked at the man inside the man.
I know that. I know that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Robin. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.